You're waking up to Good Morning Idaho.
Welcome back to Good Morning Idaho on your Tuesday morning. Well, rodeo fans no doubt already know this, but the Caldwell Night Rodeo does kick off this week. And tomorrow night, anyone who shows up is encouraged to wear purple to show support for a crusade created by Canyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue and his wife. And Sheriff Donahue is here in studio with us this morning to talk a little bit about the Man Up Crusade. So thank you for being with us this morning. And tell us why you and your wife started this crusade.
You know, in law enforcement, we see so many things that are irreversible, and especially domestic violence. It's really an epidemic in our country, as it is in many countries. But really, that's what got it started for me, is I just felt like we needed to leave something behind, do something for people. And when we look at the statistics, it's 1 in 4 women are affected by domestic violence, and that's just too strong of a statistic. 25% of the population.
It's a huge, alarming number.
It
is. A little bit. So what is the Man Up Crusade?
You know, people kind of get a little bit. It's a little bit misnomer of the man up, but really it's for everyone to take a stand, get in the fight, and say, you know what, enough is enough. Let's get rid of domestic violence. Let's take a stand against it. And so we use it as a man up, because people say, well, it's not just men that do violence against each other, and it's not. It's 1 in 7, 1 in 8 men are also victims of domestic violence, just very underreported. And it can come in many shapes and sizes, you know, in emotional or verbal, financial. So we use the man up because, you know, we're cowboys and grew up on the ranching industry, and so kind of like use the man up and say, hey, you know what, let's take a stand where no one else will. Let's be the first ones to take that step out there.
Excellent. And purple is your signature color, and there is a reason for that. It's not just an arbitrary color.
Right.
Why purple?
Right. Purple is the color of choice for survivors of domestic violence, like pink is for cancer, for breast cancer. So purple is just that natural color. People say, you know what, when we see purple, we think about victims or survivors of domestic violence. And so it really works well for us, and as in breast cancer, you know, pink, you always see the color pink. Well, you relate it to the fight to end breast cancer. You see purple, use it to end the fight of domestic violence.
Right, and so I know at the Snake River Stampede, and you did Purple Night at the CNR this week. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, you're doing Purple Night.
That's correct.
So what does that mean for folks who are going to show up tomorrow? What should they do?
You know, really what we wanted to do is just come out and wear purple. We'll have merchandise at the event for people to don or put on if they don't have purple on them. Really, it's just a unified effort to say, you know what, we all believe in this mission, this crusade to stop domestic violence. And it's just showing support. There will be many victims in that crowd, and some victims at our booth that come by, and volunteers who have survived these atrocious events, both men and women. And of course, the biggest thing for us, my wife Jeannie and I, is when we look at the secondary and tertiary effects, which is children. Children are really, truly the extra victim in these cases, and if you can stop the cycle, if you can stop the intervention and get in there and stop the children from seeing it, from experiencing it, you will make an effect down the road.
Good, and that's such great information. And to find out more about the Man Up Crusade, about Purple Night, where can people go? What can they do?
Just manupcrusade.com. You can go right to our website. It's very informative. It's actually done by a company in Boise, which is nice, a local chapter. So we really chose, you know, here we live in Idaho. We grew up in Idaho. We wanted to start it in Idaho. And I think you asked me earlier, why did we choose professional rodeo? Again, we've been in the professional rodeo business most of our lives, and we see rodeo as that Western heritage where it's still the cowboy, still stands for something, the cowboy, the cowgirl, and they'll be the first to take that step out there. So I chose professional rodeo as my vehicle of choice to spread this message nationwide.
Love it. All right, Sheriff, thanks so much for being with us
Thanks
this
for having
morning.
me.
All right, Spencer, we'll send it over to you.
Thanks, Rachel. 6:15 right now, and still ahead in Tech Bites. Everyone wants a faster commute, so how about 800 miles an hour fast?
And the On Your Side extended forecast is just on the way. Here's a look at your current temperature. 71 in Boise. As you step out the door, you'll probably smell the smoke. We're listening to some music powered by our sister station, 107.1 K-Hits. A lot of Huey Lewis this morning. We're glad you're waking up with Good Morning Idaho.